Hello, thank you for stopping by. My name is Becky and this is Bex Reads, and today I have the start of a new themed reading vlog. This is also a collaborative vlog that was created by Vanessa at Read with Dr. B, so thank you so much, Vanessa, for inviting me to participate in this vlog. The theme of this vlog is pet pics. Meet my pet, Titty. Yes, that's her name, Titty. T-I-T-T-Y. So Vanessa said we could really do whatever we wanted for this. We could have our pets pick any book we wanted. We could have our pets pick books with animals on the cover or whatnot. So I'm going to attempt to have this little lady choose a book for me to read. I don't know how well this is going to go because she is not treat motivated. She's not really motivated at all. So I wanted to do this vlog with options of books with cats on the cover because hello, she's a cat. And I found 4, so I'm aiming to get 2 books read in this vlog. So to start off, I am going to have her pick between 2 middle grade books that I have with cats on it. The first is Time Cat, which is a book I picked up in Egypt. All I know about this is it's a cat who can time travel, really. It's pretty short, so, you know, wouldn't be upset if she picked that one. The other one is Secrets of the Stars by Maria Kuzner. There is a cat right there. This is a pirate fantasy adventure, and I really liked the first book, and I just never finished out the duology. So I wouldn't be mad if she picked this one either. So I'm setting myself up for success. Hopefully I enjoy either of these books that I choose. But let me figure out how I'm going to get her to choose a book for me, because I don't know how that's gonna go. Let's just set a book here and see which one she touches first. Do any of those appeal to you? No? Which one of these books should I read? Can you help me with that? Okay, she may not be food motivated, but she's plastic motivated. The girl likes plastic, so let me put plastic in the books and see if that entices her to pick one. I should really... Yeah, you see how attentive she is now that I got this plastic out? You're so weird. Okay. Crinkle, crinkle. Okay. Do either of those strike your fancy? Should I read this one? Or should I read this one? Here's one too. What should I read? Pick a piece of plastic. This one? Or this one? Which one? I don't know how long this is going to take. That one? Or this one? Oh, we're making choices. Oh, we have a winner! Good job. I'm sure you'll go to that one anyway, but this was the first one you picked. Alright, so I'm going to start off this vlog by rating Time Cat. Okay, we are back with her in the basket because she hardly ever leaves this basket. My sister brought it home from an auction she went to, and I put a blanket in it. I moved this table specifically for her. It was like over here against a wall, but she kept like looking out this window that's right here. So I moved the table so that she could lay closer to the window so she could look out at it. So she's probably not going to be very attentive during this clip. But anyway, I finished reading Time Cat. This was a really short middle grade story. This is about a cat named Gareth and his human boy named Jason. I don't know how old Jason is. I want to say maybe 10, 12. pushing it, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, Gareth can talk to Jason, and he tells him that cats don't have 9 lives in the sense that they survive 9 times. Cats have 9 lives in the sense that they can go back in history 9 times, or live lives that they've lived in the past 9 times or whatnot. And Jason asked Gareth if he could take him with him on this journey. So they spend this book traveling through different time periods. They go to Egypt, of course. They go to Asia. They go to Germany. They go to Ireland. They go to the Americas. And they influence people in history through Gareth being a cat. This isn't too deep, obviously, but I'm going to give it 3 stars. It was a fine enough middle grade book. It wasn't anything spectacular, but I did like that this had a boy main character in it. I really liked that the people that they interacted with within the historical time periods weren't like super popular people. I think the most popular person they interacted with within the story was probably Leonardo da Vinci. Gareth inspired Leonardo da Vinci to paint, and that led him to painting more pictures, of course. But they encounter like an Egyptian pharaoh, and they teach him things about standing up for himself. There's little messages within each person that they meet. It's like, be patient, be kind, stand up for yourself, don't be afraid to take chances. Things like that middle graders could relate to, pretty much. I thought the ending was kind of weird, because in the beginning, he's like awake and he's talking to Gareth, and at the end of the book, he's questioning whether or not what happened to him, because after the 9 times that they visit different places, Gareth can no longer talk to him. So he's just a cat. So he's like, did that really happen, or was it my imagination? And it's like, well, you talked to him at the beginning of the book, so why wouldn't you believe that it happened? You know, whatever. Me as an adult, I was putting too much thinking power into it. But it was fine. I got through it really quickly. It's nothing I would reread, nothing I would recommend. I will probably pass this book along to my sister. It did have a bookmark in it from my trip to Egypt. I got this at the Abudi bookshop, so I'll add that if I don't have another bookmark. Gift it to my sister as like a souvenir from Egypt. I was actually expecting this book to take place more in Egypt, but it's not. They travel throughout time in different places. So, finished the first book in this vlog. Now let me see if I can coax her. Meow, yeah. Can I talk you into picking my next book for me? Do you think you can do that? Don't look so enthused. Okay, so for the next book choices I think this is a sci-fi fantasy reincarnation story. I don't know. It's called Reincarnation Blues by Michael Pori, and it's got a little cat right there. This is about a guy who has lived 9,995 chances, and he has only a few more left to get it right. So I don't know, it sounded interesting when I picked it. Maybe there's an audiobook I can get for this, but this is the first choice. And then we have a cozy fantasy or a cozy fantasy romance. I'm not sure how much romance is in it, but it is Shoestring Theory by Mariana Costa. There's the cat on this one. And like I said, I don't really know much about this either, other than it's a cozy fantasy. So of the 2 that I would like her to pick, I think I'd have her pick this one because it's been on my shelf the longest, but whatever. Let me go get my plastic so I can entice her to pick a book. Okay, well, you gotta let me put the books down first. Can I put the books down first? Okay. Now how am I gonna do it? I know you're more interested in the plastic than anything else. Yeah, maybe if I put the books on the floor. I don't really want to move my camera though. I know you're really interested in this plastic. Uh-oh. You dropped it. Okay, I'm gonna put these on the floor and let her choose. Okay, which book are you gonna pick? Oh, are you picking that one? Yay, you're picking the one I wanted you to pick. Good job. Wow, you're really picking that one. Okay. All right, so Titty has chosen for me to read Reincarnation Blue. So hopefully I'm gonna see if I have an audiobook for this. If not, I will have to read it physically. But good job. Thanks for choosing the book that's been on my TBR shelf for a while. You're really about all that plastic, ain't you? Don't worry, I don't let her eat the plastic. She just likes to crinkle it. She's not a toy cat either, so she doesn't have any toys. Every time I've bought her toys, she will play with it for like a day, maybe a couple hours, and then never again. So she's not treat motivated, she's not toy motivated, but the girl likes her plastic. What are you doing up there? Bless you. Show them that free butt. Here we are again. She's still here. I swear she does move, but not very much. So I am about halfway through Reincarnation Blues. I did find an audiobook available through Libby, so that's great. I'm listening to it as I do work. But this is an interesting story, and the reason I picked this up is because it involved reincarnation, and that's something that I personally believe in. And I like reading books that deal with the hereafter, like pondering what happens to us when we die and stuff like that. I love books that delve into the different ideas that people have about what happens when we die. This is a contemporary, it's also sort of historical, but in this setup of what happens to us in the afterlife, you are given 10,000 chances to reach perfection of your soul. And our main character, Milo, he is on his 9,995th life. So he's running out of opportunities to achieve perfection of his soul. And if you don't achieve perfection by the 10K mark, your soul just ceases to exist. You just, poof, evaporate from existence. You don't get a chance to move on to whatever is after death. You don't get a chance to be reborn and reincarnated. You're just done. But Milo has a reason for continuing to live and continuing to die. He has fallen in love with death. Over all the 9,000 plus times he has died, he met death when he first died in his first life, and she was a little girl who presented herself as Susie. She was deaf, she wanted a friend, so she befriended Milo. And so every time after he has died, they have sort of grown up together and they have formed this relationship, and he's in love with her and he doesn't want to live a life without her. So every time he dies, he is sent to this in-between of a place where souls get to decide like what they want their next life to be and things like that. And there he gets to spend a brief amount of time with Susie. And she's telling him, you really need to figure out what perfection is before your soul ceases to exist. Because if his soul ceases to exist, he can't continue to come back and be with her. He can't be with her in any sense. So she's telling him he really needs to buckle down and figure out how to reach perfection. So this story is pretty much him reminiscing on his past lives to try and figure out what he did right and what he did wrong in those past lives. trying to figure out what the meaning of perfection is. And she kind of tells him what that ultimate perfection looks like, but he doesn't really understand how to achieve it yet. So in 50%, he has just died his 9,998th life. So boy has 2 chances left to get it right. And I find this very interesting. You get to see his lives. He's lived the lives of cats, of grasshoppers, of whales. He's lived the life of rich and poor. He's lived into the future. He's lived into the past. He's died in every way imaginable, but he still hasn't figured out what perfection of the soul is. I'm liking the audiobook narration of this. Some of his lives are very interesting, while others are very boring. Some of them are very unjust and horrific. The last life that he lived, that wasn't pleasant. But I think that sort of mirrors reality, right? Like, your life cannot always be adventurous and exciting. You're gonna live some boring parts. You're gonna live some very meaningless parts. You're gonna live some very average parts. But you're supposed to learn a lesson in every life you've lived. So while I am enjoying this, I like the characters. I like seeing his past lives and even his future lives. Like, he's living lives that far exceed technology and advancement of what we have. So it's so interesting. My only problem with this is I'm not really connecting with him per se. I'm more connected with his stories than him, if that makes sense. Like, if something happens to him, I'm not sad, I'm not angry, I'm not like feeling his pain. I'm just intrigued by the story. So, an interesting book. We shall see how it ends, and hopefully this man figures out how to reach perfection of his soul. But other than that, I asked over on my Instagram if people had any questions that they would like me to ask Titty and then answer for her, because she's obviously not going to tell you. And if she could, we couldn't understand her. So I got a few questions, and I thought I would answer them for her. Those birds are crazy, huh? So one of the first questions that I was anticipating getting was from Vanessa, and she asked, why is her name Titty? Well, her original name was Baby Girl. She used to be my nephew's cat. I think his dad found her outside a laundromat, so they gave her the name Baby Girl, which I absolutely hated. I hated that name. So when my nephew lived with me, she became more attached to me. He was always like trying to force her to like cuddle with him, and she just wouldn't. She just wasn't very attached to him. But she would always like lay on me. She would always just come up and lay on my chest, knead my boobs, and she'd follow me around. And so I started calling her a titty baby because she was like so clingy to me. And I eventually just dropped the baby and she became Titty Girl, Tits. And when I moved here, I was like, I'm gonna take her with me. After my other baby died, she really became like my emotional support cat. She wouldn't leave me alone. So I became very attached to her, and she became very attached to me. And my nephew was like, yeah, go ahead and take her because she likes you more than me. So she's mine now. I became an official cat mom with her, and her new government name is Titty McGee. That's pretty much what her name is. And honestly, I think it suits her. It does. We're destigmatizing the word titty. For the longest time, one of my sisters refused to call her Titty. She would call her Kitty. And I was like, that's not her name. Her name is Titty. And so she eventually started calling her Titty. So we're destigmatizing Titty, okay? That is her name. Because she's just a giant titty. She loves to cuddle. Yes, you do. Don't swat me. I was petting you. Another question Vanessa asked was, what is her favorite way to annoy me? She knows the answer to this. I know the answer to this. My book coven knows the answer to this. She loves to lick herself right next to me. She has a big house that she could lick herself in any room of the house, but does she? No. No. She will come in whatever room I am in, and she will lick herself. And it's not so much that she licks herself, it's that I can hear her licking herself. And it's very annoying. It's literally, And I'm like, oh my God, can you stop? I'm always yelling at her. I'm always threatening her. And she does it on purpose too. I know she does. Because there are times she will come in the room with me and she will dead ass look at me and then lift her leg and lick herself, knowing that I'm going to yell at her. So she does it on purpose. I think she likes to be yelled at. As though I don't give her enough positive attention, I feel like she craves negative attention too. So that's her favorite way of annoying me. Yami asked what is a typical day in her life look like. So she wakes up about 5 to anywhere between 5 and 6. She wants breakfast. She's very good at not bothering me when I sleep. I know a lot of people have cats who are just like all over them and like running across the bed when she's not. She's a very good sleeper. She sleeps at the end of the bed and she does not bother me during the night. She waits until it's about 5 to 6. And then she will come up and she will like tap me, be like, yo, feed me, wake up. Or she'll just meow so that I wake up. So she has her breakfast between 5 and 6. She will come down here. She will either lay on top of the couch and look out the front window, or she lays in this spot, which is her new favorite spot, and looks out this window. She'll lay here for hours on end. Occasionally she'll get up and stretch and move around, and maybe she jump down and go explore somewhere. But she pretty much stays here until about 3, and then that's dinner time. So she will come find me, stare at me until I go feed her. Then she will use the litter box, come back down here, end up in her box again until about 7, and then she'll go use the litter box again, and then she will do like her cardio zoomies around the house for about 2 minutes. And then she'll come back down here and lay in this box until about 9, which is bedtime, and she knows that's the time I go to bed, because if I'm just laying on the couch, she will come and stare at me until I get up and go get ready for bed, because that's also when she gets her nighttime treat. And then she'll eat. She'll usually use the litter box again, and then she will either lay on the foot of the bed and take a little nap, or she will do whatever she does around the house at night. I don't know what she does around the house at night. I'm in bed, I'm asleep. I have woken up in the middle of the night, and occasionally she's just like sitting in the kitchen staring at like a wall or a corner, because I'm assuming she senses a mouse or something there. She is a good mouser. She hasn't caught any mouse recently, but typically she will catch mice and she will bring them to me live. So that's always fun. I'm really glad she hasn't found a mouse recently. And then, you know, she just sleeps until she wakes up again. So that's pretty much what a day in her life looks like. She doesn't play all that much. She's not a toy person. Every now and then, if she sees something like on the floor, she'll bat it around. She enjoys her yoga though. When I flop out the yoga mat, she is right there on it, ready to go, and she will just sit there and like ask for pets and lay down and enjoy yoga time. But we've sort of petered off of being consistent with yoga, so we haven't done that in a while. But that's a day in her life as an only child. Suleika asked, what is her favorite treat? She is very particular about her treats. She only likes crunchy treats. She's not too particular about the brand, as long as they're crunchy. I've tried giving her soft treats. She will not eat them. I've tried giving her wet cat food. She does not eat it. She likes the crunch. So usually it's a Temptations treat is what she is, but really she'll eat anything as long as it's crunchy and small. Oh, are you getting excited? Yeah, you know I'm talking about you. And Jackie asked, why is she so fluff and cute? Well, she was born that way. It's her fur. She's a furry little chick, and she's got lots of colors in her. And she's got big eyes and big whiskers and a big tail. She's a very long cat. She's got like very big features. But you are not the only one, Jackie, who thinks she's fluff and cute, because I submitted a picture of her to be in a paw print calendar, and they picked her. She is a calendar model. She became Miss December for the paw print calendar. Just look at that little model pose. She knows she's cute, and she's a ham about it. Aren't you? Aren't you? Are you a ham about it? Are you a ham about it? You know you're cute, don't you? You know you're cute. And if other people whose cats were featured in this calendar get to December, they probably think that's a typo with her name Titty on it. Nope, it's not. That's just her name. So those are all the questions she got. So thank you for giving her some questions to stand here and, you know, let me talk about her. Huh? Yeah? Are you cute? Are you cute? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So I will be sure to give you my final thoughts on Reincarnation Blues just as soon as I finish it. Want to read a book? Oh, yes. Yes. Titty approved. Look at us, we're in a different location. And I would get up and turn a light on, but then it would disrupt her. And I'm here to tell you that I finished reading Reincarnation Blues. So I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. As I mentioned, I really liked the concept of the reincarnation in this story. I liked the love story between Milo and Susie. I liked seeing how that progressed and like the different lives that they lived together. However, the last 30% of this book, it wasn't boring per se. It was just, I wasn't as connected as like the first 70%. He was pretty much stuck in this one life for like the last 30%. So we were just seeing how he lived his final chance at life. And it was weird. It was eventful, but it was weird. The ending also was pretty anticlimactic. Like, I was expecting the ending to be a lot more inspiring, I guess, than what it was. So when it ended, I was just like, well, alright, that was a book. That was that. So it was definitely an interesting read, and I think if you are into reincarnation stories, if you're somebody who likes reading like general fiction or things like that, you might enjoy it. I would definitely recommend it if you're somebody who likes reading reincarnation stories, because it had a really cool concept, but it's just not something I would ever reread. It's not something I'll go back to. But you know, 2 of the books off of my shelf. So, a win. Right, Titty? Titty, look at the camera. Yeah. A win, huh? Yeah. So, with that, I am going to end this Titty Picks My Books reading vlog. Thank you once again to Vanessa for inviting me to participate in this. If she leaves like a playlist of the other collaborators, vlogs, or whatnot, I will link it down in the description, and I will tag anyone who's participating in this down as well, so you can go check out their videos. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for getting to know Titty. Titty, look at the camera. Over here, baby. Tits. 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 There we go. Say bye to the people. Thanks for tuning in and making me the star of this vlog. If you made it to the end of this video and would like to let me know, leave me a little cat emoji, please. And with that, we're going to wrap it up. So thank you for watching, and until my next video, go out there and if you have a pet, let them pick what you read next. If you don't have a pet, just pick whatever you want to read. Bye. Titty, can you say bye? Titty. Titty. Say meow. Look at the camera. Woohoo! Say bye. Say bye. Over here. Say bye.